this is my favorite question of the entire interview. If you could call any game in baseball history, which one would it be?
Oh, I got a really good answer. Padres' first World Series championship.
Oh!
All right, welcome to Padres and Playdates. I'm Steph.
I'm Anais, and today we are joined by the GOATs of Padres Radio, Jesse Agler and Tony Gwynn Jr.
At Petco Park, mind you. Yes.
How are you guys?
We're so excited. This has been a long time coming. I think like a year in total. But
It might feel like a year. I don't think it's been actually a year.
well, to be honest, it was going to be just Jesse and now it's both of you. So
That's how I came about
I feel like we won.
I know, yeah. Whatever.
That's an upgrade.
Definitely an upgrade. To have both of you?
I know.
No, seriously though, thank you for being here. This is so cool for us. Such a great opportunity. We can't wait to chat with you guys. So.
Yeah.
Looking forward to it.
Yeah.
What do you guys do before a game? What were you doing before you came here? Like, don't lie. Like, right before you walked in. What were you doing?
Great question. I'm usually here at 12:45.
Okay.
I have to record for the radio show that I host.
You're on every
We listen
show.
to that.
Yes,
Yeah.
with Chris Ello and myself, and so I do that from about 12:45 till about 2. I go on live at 2, and then I'm on from 2 to somewhere between 3:15, 3:30, and then I'm off. In between that, I'm trying to get lineups and do all the things, write it down. I'm usually running behind by the time the game comes about.
Yeah.
On most days.
I'll get here about 1:30, 1:45 most days. Tony's obviously doing his thing on the radio show, so I try and keep quiet. But yeah, I'll start making notes, reading things, adding to my notes on the computer. I'll bother him when he's not recording and ask him something or float something his way that, maybe I want to talk about that night. And yeah, we just sit up there, before we go down to the field, which is, what we do every day for batting practice. And, just kind of have conversations, because I think one of the things I've learned over the years that's really cool is if we're having a conversation about something before the game, that usually leads to a really good conversation during the game.
Yeah.
It's just sort of like that natural, you don't even call it rehearsal necessarily, but it's like if we've had some version of a conversation,
Yeah.
usually if we have another version of it on the air, it's going to be pretty good.
I mean, you have to like each other, right?
Yes. That's chemistry, right? That's what chemistry actually is.
That kind of makes our job,
Yeah.
I think, easier
Yeah,
because
for
we
sure.
actually do enjoy
Absolutely.
one another.
I mean, it seems very
It's
obvious.
so evident.
Yeah.
I mean, you guys were number 2. We think you should have been number 1 in radio broadcasting last
Yeah.
season.
What was up with
Yeah,
that?
what happened
was
with that?
was the Giants that beat us?
Yeah, rude.
If we're gonna get beat by somebody, I'm
I don't
okay
understand
with it. I'm okay with that.
man.
Yeah, well-
Those are legends.
Yeah.
You
Those are
guys were
legends.
number 1 in Padres fans, so that's what matters really at the end of the day, right?
I think you're number one there.
No, you guys are really great. I mean, I feel like I read some discourse like on different forums and stuff, and everybody just loves you guys and just thinks you guys walk on water. And you guys are just really good at what you do and like very funny. I mean, I don't think Jesse's sense of humor, I think it kind of flies over some people's
It
heads.
definitely does.
What's
Definitely
the
does.
percentage of listeners that you think Jesse's humor just like flies right over their head?
I would say it's probably a high level of amount of people that it applies.
They're like, what's
Jesse
his name?
is sneaky funny.
Yeah.
And if you aren't paying attention,
Yeah.
You gotta be witty.
it'll go right over your head, 100% of the time.
That's how I like it.
There are things that happen that go over my head, and I gotta like kind of come back to it and like, oh, okay, that's
Okay, that was one of
them.
That was one of our questions.
Yeah.
Like, does it go over your head too?
Occasionally, it does. He's involved in the what's the game that you played?
Ben and Woods,
The
the Incorporated.
Incorporated.
Yeah.
I promise you, I've only picked up on it one time in all the games we've done. He usually goes through a Tuesday.
Yeah.
On a Tuesday, I promise you, I very rarely will figure it out.
It's kind of like the people who are in on his jokes are in a secret club. I like it that way. I'm like, yeah, I want everyone to get it.
No, like real talk. I
great
think
point.
it's one of my little broadcasting philosophies. I've never actually talked about this before, but I think there's actually value to inside jokes, which sounds weird because you're broadcasting and you would think you want to make it as accessible to as many people as possible, which of course you do. But I do think there's like a place for inside jokes for people who listen all the time.
Yeah.
So
I mean,
the
we have
radio
a
show
couple.
too, right?
For sure.
Like people watch your podcast all the time.
Yeah.
Little bits
Uh-huh.
that the regulars can pick up
Yeah.
on.
Yeah.
I think there's like a value there. And there's
I love
people
that.
who are going to be like, oh yeah, I
Yeah.
listen all the time. I know what you're talking about.
Uh-huh.
I think there's something kind of fun.
Yeah, so keep watching.
Exactly.
100%.
Okay, so we were talking about this, and I doubt a lot of people know the difference between a play-by-play broadcaster and a commentator. Is that the right terminology?
Yeah, like how would you
In terms of
explain your
what
two?
we
Yeah.
do, yeah.
How would you explain your two different
Play-by-play
roles?
color analyst, and he sets the scene, and I kind of paint the color
Yeah.
in. Is how I would describe.
You get some
you
little
get
jobs
your,
in.
your kids' coloring books. They come with no color in it.
Yeah.
I kind of just fill in the kind of details.
I'm the what, he's the why, and the how. I tell you what happens, he tells you why it happened, how it happened, that kind of stuff. That's sort of the way I look at it.
Yeah.
All right.
He's the brains.
And a good play-by-play, my job, he just makes my job easy. He's setting me up. All I have to do is.
Hopefully, he's setting you up with the right info.
See, that's the thing. I don't worry about that. This dude is so screwed up.
Yeah.
I don't have to worry about it. The information is wrong because it's never wrong.
Jesse's like an encyclopedia.
He really is.
Yeah.
He really is.
It's crazy. Sometimes, like, I feel like Jesse will pull something out as it's happening, and I'm like, "There's no way that's
Yeah,
in his
I was
brain."
thinking, did they take notes before?
Well, obviously,
Yeah,
he took
yeah.
notes before.
It takes an insane amount.
Yeah, but like, there's just like a rant. Oh well, what was it when somebody hit a home? Oh, it was Tatis's home run, which was the farthest home run, which was like 1 foot farther than the guy who was catching. I'm like, did you really know how far the
Yeah.
You had to pull that up real quick or
So
something,
yeah, I
right?
think the PR staff helps out too, and we have a text thread during the games. PR staff has a text thread during the games, and so they sent out that it was the longest. And then I think we saw that Drake Baldwin had hit the previous long, so I was able to kind of look that up, or they said whatever it was, and it was like, oh, Baldwin happens to be catching, so that was kind of cool because he was in the game. And it was like, oh, and you just kind of put it all together, and you can turn it into a story.
The funny thing about those deals, a lot of times it happens because we actually love baseball. So
Yeah.
beside the game, we're usually watching other things that are going on, and a lot of times we'll just see it. Like we happen to both see Baldwin's longest homer,
Yeah.
and it's stuck in our
Yeah.
head. And so when it happened in real time, he's able to kind of
Bring it back up?
boom, and it's there. And if we didn't enjoy the game as much as we do, then a lot of that stuff would kind of
Talk about the game.
right.
Yeah.
We wouldn't be on top of it.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay, this question just came to me, but the fact that you really going rogue here. The fact that you and Mud are both color analysts and both ex-MLB players, that's not an accident, right?
No, I don't think so. I think
Talk about that for a
I
second.
think that is a former player really fits that role really well,
Yeah.
right? Because you know what the feels are on the field in real time.
Yeah.
You know what the scenarios are. If you played as long as Mud and I, probably seen almost everything there is to see, or at least experienced
Yeah.
it. And so when Jesse's describing it, I can give you that what that feel is actually like in real
Yeah.
time. And I think that's the value of having a guy that actually played
For sure.
in that specific role.
I can nerd out and get all the information, all the notes, all the stats. I can describe everything. I can do all of that stuff, but I cannot ever tell you what it's like in the clubhouse or the dugout or on the field. I can't. So, that's where, the experience that Tony has or Mud has is just so, completely priceless. No person like me, think about it. I always talk about this, right? It's 23,000 people total who have ever played Major League Baseball. You could not fill half of Petco Park with all the people who have ever played Major League Baseball. Like going back to
Wait,
1903.
that's wild.
I feel like
Yeah.
I've heard you say this on the radio before, actually.
Yeah.
That's
I like to
that's
bring it up.
not the first
Crazy.
time I've heard that.
It's as exclusive a club as you could ever
Yeah.
imagine,
Yeah.
right? Not half this place will be filled. Go back, all the dead guys, right? Like everybody who's ever played. Like I could not ever tell
Don't
you
let
what that
Bennett hear
experience was
this.
like. Yeah, the odds are stacked against you.
You're doing great, kid.
But
Keep it up.
You got this.
That's why I have so much respect for everybody who gets there. And
Yeah.
that's why I'm, whenever I do criticize a player, where somebody messes up, I always keep that in mind. It's like a measured critique. Because like even the best are going to make mistakes. Obviously, that's the nature of sports.
I mean,
but you got to keep that in mind.
You filled some enormous shoes, obviously, with Ted Leitner and all the
Jerry
ones that
Coleman.
came before you.
Yeah.
And Was it hard for you to coin your own term?
I didn't ever look at it that way.
Yeah.
I just, sort of tried to always be myself, do my
Yeah.
thing. I was lucky enough that I got to work with Teddy, side by side for a bunch of years. So that made it, really smooth kind of transition. And I learned an awful lot about broadcasting baseball in San Diego and baseball in general, from sitting next to Teddy. So that made it a lot easier, I think.
I mean,
Where are they gonna go come from?
we're hoping tonight we're going to hear it, by the way.
Yeah.
That would be good.
Gotta go!
Yeah.
A few times.
It's funny. I don't know the first time I ever actually did it because it was not like a pre-planned thing or anything like that. But the first time I remember it kind of being a thing was in the 2020 playoffs against the Cardinals, the COVID playoffs.
Okay.
The second game, Myers and Tatis both had 2 homers, and it was just crazy town. And I remember it kind of becoming a thing in that game.
Yeah.
And from that point on, I was like, oh, this might be a thing. I remember hearing the calls on MLB Network or ESPN or something like that night at home, and I was like, that kind of sounded kind of cool. And,
You didn't pre-plan it?
no, I'd done it before for some home runs, but it was never a home run call.
And then it's stuck.
And fans were I heard from fans, they were really, and I was like, okay, maybe this is
Yeah,
kind of
this
a
is
thing.
it.
I never really wanted to have a call.
Yeah.
But I was like, all right, maybe I could, maybe I
Yeah,
should.
it's
And
good.
it's kind of gone from there.
Now you do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pretty good one.
Yeah, no, it's good.
Yeah, no, it's iconic for sure.
When did you know, Jesse, that you wanted to get into radio broadcasting?
It's embarrassing. I mean, I was 6,
Yeah.
7 years old. TV, radio, whatever it was. I
Why do you find that? I'm gonna interrupt
Yeah.
you. Why do you
not
find that embarrassing?
No, it's just
I'm like, that's awesome that you know what you want to do when you're 6.
no,
Let's
you're
work
right.
through this.
No.
Are you so embarrassed? I made
I
Jesse
mean-
laugh. I didn't think we were gonna crack a smile.
Just as a nerdy little kid, I was so fascinated by it. I saw it as magical.
Yeah.
I did. I would go to, I love going to baseball games, obviously, my whole life. And I can distinctly remember as a kid, going to games, get to the seat, and first thing I would do is always look up to the booth and see if I could see the announcers. That was a big deal to me. Those guys up there were almost as big of a deal to me as the players on the field.
That's awesome.
Just for almost as long as I can remember.
What team? What
Yeah,
stadium were you going to?
Yeah, I grew up in South Florida, so the Marlins didn't exist till I was 11. So I grew up a Met fan. My dad was a Met fan, so that was kind of the natural thing. But so usually Marlin games, but we go to New York in the summer to see my grandparents, go to Met games, occasionally Yankee games. But any game I would go to, wherever, it didn't matter. I would just always look up, try and see if I could find the announcers.
Jesse and I's path actually crossed way earlier.
Oh,
than
tell us.
I know, I was curious about that.
I was a junior at San Diego State. We were playing at the University of Miami, where he was a student at that time, and
So you guys are both students.
both students,
Same age.
same age.
Go Aztecs.
He came. Well, it didn't go well for us that series.
okay.
But he came down and interviewed my dad at that point. So our paths, we didn't know it at the time, crossed. In
interviewed his
2003.
dad?
I interviewed his dad and I broadcast the games
Oh.
on student radio. So
How
he's starting
cool.
in center field. He's probably the only guy that had a good series for the Aztecs. No offense to your former teammates. Miami was really good that year. And so I broadcast that series, student radio, Miami and San Diego State. He's running around center field getting hits. His dad's coaching. I interviewed his dad before the first game. And, who could have guessed 18 years later, whatever.
That's crazy.
It's crazy.
I have goosebumps.
That's awesome.
That's a great story.
Yeah.
That is
Baseball's
really cool.
crazy
Come
like
full
that.
circle. I love that.
Oh man.
Okay, you guys were talking about how you've always got to be on it, right, when you're in radio broadcasting. And obviously, we know from just our little content creation that we make mistakes all the time.
Yeah.
So,
Great one.
how often do you make those mistakes? And
All the time.
Every game.
yeah, I don't really
Yeah.
pick up on it.
Okay, give us some
I
examples.
butcher somebody's name often.
Well, see, I feel like an average listener wouldn't really notice that.
That's
the trick.
And that's the trick,
you know,
right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
If
yeah,
I
yeah.
stop and make a big deal,
Yeah.
you'll notice
You're
it.
like,
But
"Whoop."
most of the time I'll roll through it, and because I have such a good partner, he's gonna have to say the name at some point. And if I haven't asked him before the game, because at this point in our journey, I usually ask before the game, but there's
Yeah.
occasionally a bullpen arm that might slip through the cracks, and I'm the one coming back from a pitching change that has to do it. And so sometimes I just gotta roll it out.
Yeah.
Especially if I forgot to ask him
If you say it wrong, will he say it wrong on purpose?
No, that's the great part.
But I might not say it immediately.
Right.
Let it
He
breathe.
won't come right on top of me.
Oh, that's funny.
You guys should start doing that.
No.
This is a little bit.
Because here's the deal: is that what I've learned over the course of time, and why it's important for me to get these right, is that these people's families are listening.
Yeah.
And,
Yeah.
I don't
Respectful.
exactly. It's never intentional.
We
And-
No, of course
We
not.
do that too. Steph is like so white. And like there's so many like Hispanic, Dominican names, and like I'm Hispanic, so like we'll just do a whole segment on like me teaching her how to say a last
I tried
tell you
really
what,
hard.
One of the other things that, I've learned over the years is like, you could have two people whose names are spelled exactly the same.
And there's
And they say it
Yeah.
completely different. Hey, his grandfather said it this way, his dad said it that way. And so, you'll get feedback from people who be like, that's not how you say that name. I'm like, I literally talked to the guy.
Right.
And
This is how he wants it to be
That's how
said.
he wants it to be said. So like,
it's a respect thing.
it's a respect
100%.
thing. And so that's why I
Yeah,
always try and find the player. And to be like, hey, how do you like your name to be pronounced? And I take that pretty seriously. Do I bat 1,000 on it? No.
Yeah.
Obviously, mistakes can be made. Also, super white. So like, I'm gonna mess them up. But I do take it seriously, and Tony does too. And you try and get it as right as you can.
I've actually, that's one of the things I've learned from Jesse. Because as a player, you're not thinking about that kind of
No.
thing, right? You're just competing.
Yeah.
But when you think about it from that element, like how upset would my mom have been if she was listening from my first at bat and said broadcaster was just
yeah.
butchering my name?
Yeah.
He's calling you Toby the whole time.
That would, I could,
Like, now I'm gonna do it tonight by accident. That's how
I
that
can see how that would be
Yeah,
disappointing.
rub her the wrong way.
Okay, well, like this was very interesting, but I was kind of more referencing statistics. Like, do you get things wrong, like in that?
Well, yesterday in Arizona, so this is a perfect example of a mistake. So certain mistakes you can just power through, like we're talking about. You trip on a word, you mispronounce something, whatever. You just kind of push through whatever, you move on. But like yesterday, second batter of the game, literally, Rengifo bunts for a hit, was trying to sacrifice whatever. He ends up, like, it was a weird play at first base. I thought he was
yes.
out. They
He
called
was-
him out.
I was happy you were
I
wrong.
called him out. He was safe.
Yeah.
And that's like a really bad one. Like that's probably
No.
even once or twice a year max sort of thing.
that like
No.
makes sense.
Yeah,
I was just
it's
excited
not
in
great.
that moment.
And then I was like, I was all like crossed up. I was like, wait, but
He's
like
on.
literally all you can do is be like, hey, my bad.
Yeah.
Like, oh no, he was safe. And obviously it's good news, so like it's
Yeah.
easier. Would have been worse had it been the other way, right?
Yeah.
And now I got to deliver the bad news that I messed up. But like that's one that like you can do nothing other than be like, hey,
Yeah.
sorry, my bad. That
Yeah.
kind of thing. Because on TV, when you do a game on TV, you got a little more time. Because you can kind of wait, everybody can see what's happening. So you don't have to make a call as quickly. Radio, I try and be really, really quick on the call because you want to get there, I try, before the crowd reaction.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, sometimes you guys will switch and go on, radio, TV.
Yeah.
What's that like having to, what's the big difference?
This
would
is
you
hard.
say?
a
Very big.
question.
It's hard because
big difference.
TV is so much more production.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's less talking, but there's still a rhythm to it because you guys can see what's
Yeah.
going on.
All eyes on you.
I don't need to tell you
be more
he
on.
missed off the plate for a ball, right?
Yeah.
You've seen that,
Yeah.
right? So there's more room for like an open
about that.
conversation, but it still needs to be within what's happening on the field. And
Yeah.
so you got to manage that. Whereas radio, Jesse and I are generally just having a conversation on top of telling you what's happening.
Oh man, I didn't
The
think
example
about
I use is like radio. I feel like we're playing doubles tennis. He and I, with Dave as like the umpire. And on TV, it's like you're kind of like the quarterback, 11 on 11.
Yeah.
Because you're dealing with an entire crew of people.
Especially your play-by-play guy.
Yeah, you got producer, director, camera operators, graphics, video, everybody kind of working together to try and produce this thing. More complicated.
that. Cool. Thanks for explaining.
Wait, when
that
you
to us.
said Dave, it made me think of
"Oh, hang a star."
Hang a star on that pretend I have it right here.
We have a lot of questions about hang a star. We actually take up half the interview.
I started to Google about it because I remember being a kid, like seeing the star, and like it was such a big deal.
Heck, yeah.
So the star is a big deal. Obviously, Jerry Coleman
Yes.
coined the phrase.
Tell our listeners in case they don't know.
So for those who don't know, the star that I hang, it really came from the great Jerry Coleman. After every great play, he would say, "You can hang a star on that, baby."
Uh-huh.
Right? And so, as a kid, that was my thing. Like when I saw a nice player on the field, I immediately
I know.
am looking up to see if a
Is it
star.
there? Is it there?
And so when I got the job full time, and Dave was like, "You're going to be the one in charge star." I take it very seriously because it is something I grew up. It's not an easy thing to acquire. It shouldn't be an easy thing. You got to make a you got to make a play, right?
Do you get to decide
I
if
do.
to hang a star on that? Okay.
I do.
Does he call it?
No, I'll grab it and he'll
I wait for him.
wait for me.
Oh, you're following him.
And so
He's an
occasionally,
expert. He was the outfielder.
occasionally there's like an in between, and I'll kind of look back at Dave, and he never gives me any help.
Yeah.
He's just kind of like,
There it is.
and so I typically am a pretty difficult grader though.
Okay.
Huh?
No, yeah,
Which the
it's
players
what we
respect,
earned.
by
And
the
I
way.
think, I think
How many have we had this season?
We haven't tracked. Last year we tracked it because I'm
Tracking has been bad luck for us.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Can you give us like an average of like
On
per
a year,
or like a series? How many series?
I would say it's probably 2 or 3. Is us? Wait, you talking about series or
It's
homestand?
gotta be home. It's gotta be home.
So I would say in a homestand, like if we have the 6-game homestand we have, I would say probably 2 or 3 a
Okay.
homestand.
Oh,
Alright.
that's pretty good.
Yeah.
Well, okay. All right. We're
So
not gonna
tonight
jinx
we're
it.
gonna hear a "Gonna Go"
And hey, you
I know
can
this
start.
right.
Sorry.
Okay, you do it.
Jesse, rate her. Okay, rate her.
You do it better.
A+.
Okay, good.
8+.
Okay, it's
Oh my God.
On the spot.
Gotta go.
oh, that's pretty
also
good.
very good. Yeah.
All right, that was very good.
Who won?
Stars for everybody.
Sorry, thank
A+.
you. That was nice. See, hang a star on both of us. Thank
Everybody
you.
gets
Tony would have hung a star on both of our gonna.
I would have.
Oh man.
Oh my God. Okay, so one thing that I wanted to mention and compliment you on, Tony, is how and like maybe I shouldn't be saying this, but we can always edit it out. Don't worry. But like you're so candid on the radio, like one of the most candid voices, opinions. You were on a roundtable recently, and I'm like, I feel like we're the only person who was giving a real answer. I'm like, oh my God, for the love of God, like
I just, you know what?
where's that come from?
I've had to grow into that. That's not. It's not something that was easy as a former player. I'm very sensitive
Yeah.
Yeah, I can imagine.
to what's going on down there and what those guys are going through. So it's probably taken me up until the last couple of years to be a little more forthright in how I was feeling. But I always try to keep it clean though, right? Like
Yeah.
in terms of if I'm criticizing somebody, it needs to be something that is factual based. You know?
Sure.
So
Not an opinion.
Right.
Yeah.
If someone is struggling, I'm only pointing out what's on
The facts.
the number.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And so I try to keep it there. I think the lines get blurred when it goes beyond what's the facts are actually.
And by the way, as someone who's watched and listened to tens of thousands of baseball games in my life, I mean, most former players don't get to the point he's at.
Yeah.
They don't, and that's why there's a lot of guys who aren't as good at this as he is. I mean, I think you found the sweet spot where you're still respectful of how hard it is and you understand what it's like down there, but you're able to point out legitimate things.
Yeah.
That's what people want to hear because they want to understand what's going
Yeah.
on.
It's the one thing that I probably pay most attention to is, the further away I get away from the game, and meaning the last time I wore some cleats, the easier the game seems. And so I try to be very mindful that it's been almost 11 years since I last
You
played,
don't gotta count.
and it seems a lot easier because I haven't played in a while, and I just try to be mindful of that when I'm
One of the
speaking on it.
things Tony does that helps him stay connected, though, to the reality of it all is Tony spends a tremendous amount of time on the field talking to players, talking to
Yeah.
coaches. And again, not everybody does that. And I think that's critically important, staying totally in tune with it. That's what we do before games. That's part of it. Going down there every single day, maybe not Sunday mornings, but like almost every single day. And, spending time with those guys, being around them, having real conversations with them at the batting cage
Yeah.
or whatever it might be. And that, keeps you grounded in the reality of the moment.
Spring training is
Yeah.
super
Yeah.
important. Like, we're there the whole time,
Yeah.
and that's probably the most intimate we get to be with those guys in
Yeah.
terms of
Day in,
I'm
day
in
out.
the cage with them, watching them do their
Yeah.
thing. We don't get. It's not that we don't get that opportunity here. It's just a little bit different.
Yeah.
And so I want to give those guys space to do them,
Yeah.
but I also know I need to cultivate those relationships so that they trust me and they know that I'm never gonna go out and badmouth them or
Yeah.
talk about them crazy.
No, you never do.
Right.
You never do. I've never heard that.
I want to be an ally to them when I'm on the air.
yeah.
So
If you were not here right now,
Yeah.
what would you be doing?
Hopefully broadcasting for another team.
Good answer.
I mean, I'd probably, hopefully broadcast. I take that back. If I could get away with just traveling and watching my kids do their thing,
Yeah.
I would probably choose to do
Yeah.
that. But
Do your kids think your jobs are pretty cool?
they do now. They do now. They didn't always.
appreciate it now.
They're a little bit older now. I think they kind of see the cool things that go along with it. So I think they appreciate it more. But they didn't always feel like that.
They used to be unimpressed.
They very unimpressed.
Painfully unimpressed.
Very unimpressed.
What about you, Jesse? How old are your kids?
Mixed bag, 10 and 5. They don't like that I go away a lot. I hear a lot about that right now. But the little one, she's seen people like ask to take pictures with me and stuff, and she's very into that.
She's like, wow, my dad's cool.
She's like, my dad's famous. My dad's famous.
Yeah.
I hear that.
I think that's where all of our kids kind of like, oh, okay, this is kind of cool.
You're important.
Okay, I know you guys have things to do, so we're gonna do a quick little rapid fire before we sign off, okay?
All right, let's do it.
Favorite ballpark food?
Seaside nachos, once a month only.
Ooh, I'm gonna say the $3.94 egg roll burrito they have up there.
We need to try that tonight. Okay.
Special also shout out to Chef Drew's ceviche.
Yes.
Deckman's.
Ceviche here.
Yeah, Deckman's
Deckman's?
ceviche.
All right. Well, we'll try both. Well, you
Okay.
can't have ceviche, but okay. Favorite baseball movie?
Major League.
Wow. Jeez. Okay.
It's the realest of all the baseball movies.
We could probably also do it line by line right now.
We gotta go watch that
Yeah.
later. Okay, walk-off win or no-hitter?
Walk off win.
No hitter.
Yeah. I'm same.
Favorite broadcaster in MLB besides yourselves, obviously, or each
To
other?
listen to
Yeah.
John Miller.
Yeah.
He's like, I'm gonna wait to see what he says first.
I mean, I didn't know
There's a lot.
that one
I don't know.
he is the Giants.
Okay.
He's number one on that list, you guys.
Okay, now we
brought
gotta
up.
listen.
Is he the play-by-play or the analyst?
Play-by-play.
He has. I mean, he's our childhood. He was the voice of baseball, Sunday Night Baseball forever.
Okay.
Him and Joe Morgan, and so those are the voices we grew up with from a national standpoint.
I can name like 30 other guys though, like right now, really quickly. Rick Riz, who's retiring, is the Mariners radio guy, is a phenomenal listen. Howie Rose, who's retiring, is the Mets radio guy this year, is just fantastic. Now I feel like I'm gonna leave people out.
That's why.
Oh, you're on the spot, so just tell me you love them all.
Your face during that, and then I'm going to edit out all the other people.
But John's a legend. Like he is now what Vin Scully was for a long time.
Yeah. Okay.
Where he just kind of stands kind of in his own place on the mountaintop, I would say.
Yep, I agree.
Okay, favorite city on the road?
Chicago.
Oh,
New York.
we've been to Wrigley a few times. Good place.
And this is my favorite question of the entire interview that Steph came up with, so credit to her. If you could call any game in baseball history, which one would it be?
Oh, God.
I know, I'm so curious.
I got a really good answer.
Oh.
Go first then.
Padres' first World Series championship.
Oh!
He's thinking outside the box.
Future!
I wasn't thinking like games
I love
that
that.
haven't happened yet.
Yeah, good answer.
Calling game 1 of the '98 World Series.
Oh, yeah.
It'd be pretty
I was
sweet
there.
for me to see my dad
Uh-huh.
hit that, be able to call him hitting that home run.
Well, and yesterday was the anniversary of the 2000th and 3000th hit. That was so cool.
It was.
I didn't realize it was the same day.
And it's
Same
your
day as my
grandmother's
grandmother's birthday
Your
too.
grandmother's birthday?
Yeah.
Like, what are the chances?
Oh, I love
of
that.
But that dude was amazing. He was amazing.
I
Do
love
you think
that.
he planned it?
I think when he knew it was in range, he was going after it.
I love
So the
it.
other cool thing about it, when he got the 3000th hit in Montreal, was a single first base umpire, Kerwin Danley, his college teammate at San Diego State.
Oh, I love that.
Oh.
Baseball.
Very serendipitous.
Yeah, very, very.
Baseball does that to you.
Yeah, I love it. The language of love. Here we are. Okay, there's bells going off. I know you guys gotta get to work.
We gotta go. Things are getting weird.
Thank you so much
Thank you
for
so
being
much.
with us. So much fun. Yes, go Padres.
Appreciate your
Gotta get
time.
the win with Robbie Ray tonight, right?
There you go.
All right, here we go.
Gonna go. We gotta go. That's gonna be my new sign up. We gotta go.
Thank you.
guys.
It's great stuff.
That was awesome.